Contract signings in professional wrestling, they aren't they aren't too exciting. They're just a way to get the two challengers to face off and sort of like cut promos on each other. But I think I like it a little bit more how they do it in Impact than they do in WWE because there's no table. It's just them, a clipboard, and a contract. And that's how we start Impact tonight. We start off Impact with the contract signing between Bully Ray and Chris Sabin. One thing I really noticed that I do like about Chris Sabin is I think his entrance gear is pretty cool. It's kind of like a welcome to the Black Parade sort of thing. So yeah, I'm just noticed about they cut basic promos on each other, how since Bully is gonna be trapped in a steel cage without the aces and eights, he's gonna beat his ass or something like that. And then Bully calls out Hulk Hogan for the contract signing. Excuse me, but Brooke comes out. And Brooke says that if Bully loses, he can't challenge Sabin for the title again. Which is starting to be a common stipulation over here in Impact. Soon no one will be able to challenge anyone for the title ever again. And, yeah, you gotta be careful with that, you guys. But Bully's probably gonna win, or if Bully doesn't win, then Bully will challenge someone else, not Sabin, for the title. And that's the only way you can get back or something. Something like that, Anyway, they say Tito Ortiz is gonna cut a promo or something tonight. I don't give a shit. This is TNA, not TNMMA. Alright? I don't want MMA fighters in my wrestling program unless they're going to train to become wrestlers. Because Kurt Angle is an Olympic wrestler. He trained to be a professional wrestler, so yeah. Anyway, Bound for Glory series match. Samoa Joe versus Jeff Hardy. Now this was a pretty cool match. I really liked it. It showed Hardy's what I noticed about Hardy's wrestling style is that it's mostly offensive strikes and high risk high flying maneuvers, which is not it's a valid wrestling style, but compared to Samoa Joe's a little bit more balanced. He's got a little bit more of everything, and he does everything well. He punches hard. He did an elbow suicide that was pretty cool. And freaking Mr. Anderson was out for commentary, so Anderson stood up and Joe was kind of like concerned, looking over his shoulder like what the fuck Anderson's gonna do. And Hardy won with a flip pin. So 7 points for Jeff Hardy going into the Bound for Glory series. Now he has 24 points. Awesome, good for Jeff. I'm really digging Hardy, like I did back when he was back when he was in WWE. Daniels we get a backstage segment with Christopher Daniels saying about how Kazarian is being selfish and how Daniels has more experience and has always been the leader, and he's going to remind Kazarian of that tonight because they're having a match against each other in the Bound for Glory series. But before that, we get another Bound for Glory series match. Magnus, representing the Main Event Mafia, versus Mr. Anderson, representing the Aces and Eights. One quick thing about Mr. Anderson's name. When he went into TNA Impact Wrestling, did they sort of like bring him in as, this is Mr. Anderson, he's our new wrestler. Now we're going to take 1 hour just to make all the Matrix jokes we want, just to get it out of our system, and then we'll go back to work. Is that okay with you, Mr. Anderson? That's just what I imagined it would have done. Anyway, Anderson and Magnus, it's kind of a back and forth match. I thought it was really, the crowd was sort of into it, like they weren't into it at first, but the more it went, the more they were kind of invested in it. However, Bobby Roode comes out, attacks Anderson with a chair, and sort of pats Magnus in the back like, hey, great job, buddy. Which is ingenious, because if you lose by disqualification, you get taken off points. So Magnus loses 10 points, and Anderson gets 3 by disqualification win. Anderson's just outside there, yeah, I did it. A win's a win, I guess. So Anderson wins by DQ. Magnus loses 10 points. And Bobby Roode, very smart. Bobby Roode can take Magnus out of the picture, out of the lead, if he keeps doing this. Alright? I know someone will probably get upset, like Hogan or whatever. But for now, this is a legit strategy to manipulate the leaderboard. Good on Roode. Good for him. After the break, Roode cuts a promo saying that he's going back to his old cheating ways or whatever. And yeah, so Roode has a plan now. This is good because he's been kind of on a slump, but now he's thinking. We get a backstage segment with Bromance. They're interrupted by Mickie James and tells them to focus on their tag match tonight. And I don't like. I never got the whole bromance thing. Not the tag team, because they're a couple of Guidos paired together. Yeah, it's easy to understand. But the concept of a bromance, I don't get that. Just it's two dudes who love each other, but they're not gay, or something. What happened to the word friends? Why not just say we're friends? Because that's what it is, right? Just say you're friends. You don't have to make up the fucking bro. You know what? I don't give a shit. I'm thinking too hard about it. Anyway, we get another backstage segment with Chris Sabin, Sting, and Kurt Angle. Sabin thanks Main Event Mafia for looking after his back, for making sure that Bully Ray and the Aces and Eights didn't try to cheat into the World Heavyweight title, However, Sabin has a plan for tonight's main event match, and he's going to take some trust on the Main Event Mafia side, and they agree to it. Anyway, Tito Ortiz comes out. He's going to say his little promo or whatever, but then Angle comes out and says that, you better, this is my ring, I built this place or whatever. And Bully Ray comes out and says, I built this place, this is my ring, and fuck the both of you. Pretty lame stuff. Don't know why Tito Ortiz is here. I don't know, and you know what? I don't care. The only reason I can imagine is that since Impact is on Spike TV and Spike TV does a lot of MMA stuff, they're doing some sort of cross-promoting sort of thing. I don't know. Anyway, but that doesn't matter because I finally get to see the tag team champs again. I love the tag team champs. It's Gunner and Storm with ODB versus Bromance and Mickie James. I'm sorry, I said Mickie James. What? It's Mickie James. Anyway, one of the Bromance guys, not Robbie E, the other guy, he looks pretty good in the ring. He looks pretty good in the ring. What's his name? Jesse? Yeah, Jesse. I think he was a member of the Jersey Shore or some bullshit like that, but he didn't look that bad in the ring. Like, he has potential. If he works on this, if he keeps being a wrestler, he's not going to be in a couple of years, he's not going to be a bad wrestler. He's going to be pretty good, if he keeps doing it for like several years. Which I have no problem with. If you want to be a professional wrestler, that's badass. In the end, Gunner and Storm pin Robbie E with the Power Slam Neckbreaker combination, which was also the finishing move for Hawkins and Rex back in WWE NXT Redemption. Yeah, I reviewed those too. Look it up. I'm used to being on the losing team. The better team, but the losing team. Winner, Gunner, Storm, and ODB. But then Gail Kim comes out, starts attacking ODB, and Mickie James... I'm sorry, I keep saying Mickie James. I want to get paid to talk. It's Mickie James also attacks, and they attack each other, but then they run out. Anyway, Kazarian. After that, we get a backstage segment with Kazarian. Says that's it's bad for bad influence, but it's going to be about Kazarian tonight. Bully and D-Ray. I want to get paid to talk. Bully and Devon, they're in the back talking about how it doesn't matter which Main Event Mafia bullshit member comes out, they're just going to beat the show because they're the best tag team ever. And Bully Ray steals Devon's testify line, which I gotta admit, I thought was pretty funny. After Bound for Glory series match, Kazarian versus Daniels, they go back and forth with some basic holds, and then they push each other out of the ring. But as soon as they get out of the ring, puts his arm around Kaz, they count along with the ref, double count out. 2 points for both of them. Pretty ingenious. Kaz is no longer in zero place, and Daniels doesn't lose anything. Good for them. And that's when Bobby Roode comes out and says everyone's so focused on aces and eights, main event mafia, they forgot about the guys who really put Impact on the map. So they're going to make a new stable. They're going to throw their hats into this little power struggle. Anyway, they also get a backstage segment with Tito Ortiz. He fucks up his line. No shit. That's what I'm talking about. MMA guys, they don't know and they don't care how to be entertaining. Because that's what wrestling's all about, being entertaining. This guy's not entertaining. He's boring. That's why I don't watch MMA. That's why I don't watch UFC. It's two guys, I don't give a shit, just being shit out of each other. Whatever, I can watch that on the internet for free. Alright? It's boring. Anyway, we got our main event. Bully Ray and Devon, Team 3D versus Sabin and it looks like Sting. It looks like Sting's going to be his tag partner. But Kurt Angle comes in from behind and beats the shit out of him. And since Kurt Angle got in the ring first, ref rang the bell. Kurt Angle is Sabin's tag partner. This was a pretty good back and forth match. Well, not too much back and forth because Team 3D, them being the experienced tag team, they had a couple more. They had more control. They dominated more of the match because, like I said, they are the more experienced tag team. But Kurt Angle does get his damage in against these guys. They hit the 3D on Angle, and they pull out the table, right? They pull out the table, and they're going to throw Sabin in it. Well, they put Sabin on it, and Bully Ray's going to ram him, right? Sabin gets out of the way. Bully Ray runs into the table himself. And I was like, isn't that a DQ? But my brother said, I guess it's not a DQ if you're a dumbass and you hurt yourself. So no DQ, but Sabin hits the crossbody off the top for the win. My thoughts, couple of cool matches. Got to see Hardy. Got to see my boys, the tag champs. Pretty good. Sabin. Sabin, I'm liking Sabin, I'm liking Sabin more. My brother, he's not too sure about Sabin being world champ, the top dude. But I'm digging it. The more I like him, the more I watch him. And they said Sabin sucked on the mic department. I don't think so. He's not bad. He doesn't suck. He's not CM Punk Sting level, but he's not bad. He can still cut a promo. So yeah, I thought it was a good show, and I realized something. Because they only have 2 hours a week, they only have one show per week, one TV show, that one show is 2 hours. They gotta manage their time, which is what I noticed they're doing. They use half the guys, half the active dudes that they have, and then next week they use the other half, and they use the other half, sort of like that. They, if that makes sense, they kind of use it. Like for example, last week they're gonna use AJ Styles and Austin Aries and that sort of thing, and then this week they use Samoa Joe, Jeff Hardy, and the tag champs, right? And they have to keep rotating, I guess is what I'm saying, because like I said, they have to manage their time and what they got. Now, obviously, the main event guys, they have to show up in every show, but the mid card and the lower card, they have to keep rotating them, which is kind of smart, I guess. It's like I said, it's something they have to do to manage their time. Unlike WWE, they have the time. They just keep using the same dudes every week, so we're not moving forward. We're not getting any new dudes. Well, we are getting new dudes, but sometimes you don't want to see someone. Sometimes, But I like what Impact is doing. Is basically my point. And that was it for this week. I'll check out Hardcore Justice next week and do my review on that.